From cheese chasing to gender reveal parties, here's a list on how not to do things.
Welcome back to Bumblebee. Here are the top 10 messed up celebrations in history. Number 10. Off of the Florida Keys, there's a place that holds a special kind of celebration. No, it's not the Beach Boys cover band, although there are many in local Florida to choose from. No, I'm talking about the 35-year running annual Underwater Music Festival. Next time you're in Florida for the weekend, enjoying some well-deserved R&R and want to hear some of your favorite classics, then grab some flippers and a snorkel for some front row tickets to this free underwater show. The 2-day festival draws in dozens. That's a sad sentence. Dude, you know I'm checking this out. You're telling me there's a bunch of real-life Zoras from Zelda swimming underwater dressed to the nines playing instruments designed to look like the bones of fish really existing? That's literally the Zoras, dude. Instruments such as the mandolin and the trombone fish can be heard for miles underwater. The origins of this 35-year event is pure at heart. Locals wanted to bring some awareness to the dying coral flora, and what better way to do this than to see it for yourself underwater. After the show, tickets and drinks are sold at the local tiki bar, and audiences can sit in on lectures of reef biology and a little spot of music. That's nice.
Number 9, California gender reveal party. It's a hazard. Everything's on fire. Awesome, nice. Look, here on Bumblebee, we love celebrations, obviously. The Festival of Drunkenness we've mentioned many times before. There's ways to party, then there's ways not to party. Back in 2020, great time for celebrations, might I add, for sure, a California couple was charged with several offenses, including involuntary manslaughter after they caused a fire that ultimately damaged other homes' property. And this was the same blaze responsible for the death of one firefighter, a man named Charlie Morton. How brutal is this? The couple blazed 23,000 acres. Yeah, it destroyed 5 homes and 15 buildings in total. This is also not the first botched gender reveal in recent history. An Arizona fire was ignited in 2017 after an off-duty US Border Patrol agent shot at an explosive device to send blue smoke in the air. And then there's a massive fire. Awesome. It was a boy, by the way, in case you didn't pick that up. That matters all of a sudden. Let's not use pyrotechnic devices. Unless you're touring with the band Kiss, we don't need pyrotechnics, you know what I mean? Just do the baseball trick, that's it, keep it there.
Number 8, Fawks Night. This one hits home. Remember Grandma would talk about this magical night from her homeland? People running amongst the streets, wreaking havoc, tearing down every fence and piece of wood that they could carry for a giant bonfire. 1, 2, 3, and to me. Thank you. Mobs just ripping off the side of your house every year. Like, how many times do they have to get their fences redone? You know how expensive it is to shingle a roof? She would boast about this night, and I thought it was made up for like 30 years. No, it's real, people. Guy Fawkes holds a special place for the Brits and their independence. We've seen V for Vendetta, it's that dude. Or the dude he's dressed up as. Guy Fawkes, the head of the Gunpowder Plot, a group of Protestants creating an underground movement in the early 1600s in attempts to blow up Parliament and end the Catholic reign and the kings it housed. Dark. Both Protestant and Catholics enjoy this holiday, however, as it means something a little different for both of them. So if you're looking to do some remodeling in November, just save it till the month after.
Number 7, Fyre Festival. Of course we have to mention this celebration. This was the hottest festival that never happened. Billy McFarland, this guy Fawkes, I'll tell you that for free. But he knows how to throw a party, let me tell you that. Fyre happened in 2017, or rather that's when it was supposed to happen. 3 days, private beach in the Bahamas, just you, Kendall Jenner, and Ja Rule. A dream weekend right there, right? It's about time. I've always wanted this my entire life. I thought it was a cottage. Nope. Kendall Jenner and Ja Rule. Here we go. Only $7 grand. Well, the immersive music festival was promoted on social media by Haley Baldwin, Emily Ratajkowski, Bella Hadid, all these famous influencers, you name it. The ads were the best. It was just slow-mo walking on a beach, just looking at the camera for 45 seconds, not advertising anything, just looking in the camera. So guests, of course, bought into this lifestyle. They arrived, and it was immediately a disaster. As soon as they arrived to the island, they discovered nothing was even complete. Their luggage was sitting in an open shipping container in the dark. Blink-182 bailed. It gets worse and worse. Their tents were ripped apart, and for the culinary experience, they got bologna sandwiches in takeout containers. Yeah, Mustard and Bella Hadid were nowhere to be found. I want my money back now, Billy. That's it.
Number 6, Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas, man.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man. There's a lot of connection with a bit of history that I've been brushing up on. Psychedelics. The Nordics had some pretty old pagan rituals. Some were painted, some were written, but most of them by word of mouth. Every winter solstice, these guys would take a large handful of Amanita muscaria mushrooms The classic red with the white dots, you know, known as Fyre Festival. Widely used with the berserkers, these people like to trip. Apparently reindeer love these mushrooms too and can be seen at many of these fungal sites, along with shamans who, during the snow-filled winters, would enter their homes by sliding down the chimney. Starting to sound familiar. The origins being much scarier with Krampus, the vengeful Germanic Christmas ghoul who brings you coal and kills the absolute shit out of you if you're bad. The spirit of Christmas. The holidays. And then there's Santa Claus, who's the good guy, just brings you gifts. These people were all just messed up on shrooms. Elves, flying reindeer, fat shamans dressed in red, too lazy to shovel, just sliding down the chimney. There's way too many similarities, and I've dabbled enough to know that something's fishy here.
Number 5. Bals Des Victims. Okay, imagine you attend a ball in 1795. You're all excited, you're wearing your Sunday fancies, and it just happens to be the Victims' Ball. Yikes, bring your own tears, I guess. Shortly after the Reign of Terror ended, everybody was hurting. Even if you didn't meet your fate via the, the guillotine, you were most likely mourning for somebody who has. So these balls, these galas, were then put in place by dancing societies. This was a way of mourning, just like we do today. We party and celebrate for somebody's life. We literally have a ball. The Bals Des Victim happened inside a cemetery, just people dancing over the graves of their lost ones. That's amazing. Graveyard crump battles in 1800s. That would have been a sight to see. That's what I want to do after I go. Just, you and the family battle. Let's do some ciphers. Maybe we'll beatbox a bit, drop some flowers.
Number 4. Up Helly Ahh, Scotland. Up Helly Ahh, or also known as Up Helly Ahh, is a fire festival, no, not that fire festival, in Shetland, Scotland, annually to mark the end of the winter Yule. The first celebration was in 1876, and men, known as geysers, would add torches to an overgrowing bonfire in which effigies, ships, and piles of wood were all burned and lit by hand by torches. Borrowed from the Viking and early settlers, originally deep at its Nordic roots of the Jarl, the celebration was a spectacle in itself, and some time spent celebrating. Basically, they had a huge bonfire and everyone laughed and drank and danced and told stories. A little tragically hip and some marshmallows, call that a cottage weekend, my boy. If you're scared of fire or Frankenstein's monster himself, then I would say just avoid this whole event in total. If you're into some anarchy, a night of berserking, and a cozy little blaze, well then cry out na iron brew and going up the hilly for shenanigans, eh? I don't know what I just said. What was it?
Number 3, downhill cheese chasing. My patellas hurt just looking at this video. Holy shit, why do people do this? Walking downhill is hard enough and also so silly. You look like Woody from Toy Story. Just bouncing around down the street. Stupid, right? Well, after a 2-year hiatus, the 2022 Cheese Rolling Championships finally took place again on Cooper's Hill in the UK. You've seen this, right? It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. People flailing their bodies down a hill, all in the name of cheese. This event kicked off back in 1826, where competitors would chase after a wheel of cheese rolling around, 100 kilometers or so. The local rugby team waits at the bottom to catch these competitors, right? They're rolling in at insane speeds, they're upside down, you gotta catch them, right? Obviously. As well as emergency medical workers, because, believe it or not, rolling down a 200-meter hill might break something. I know, right? Crazy. Chris Anderson is the literal cheese king. This man is 35 and he's won 23 races in 15 years. He also became a dad over the pandemic, so he's for sure done. He's not doing any cheese chasing anymore. But the amount of injuries that he sustained while chasing the cheese, dude's immortal. Give Jackie Chan a run for his money. Also, he's clearly not lactose intolerant. I mean, I would hope. Who knows?
Number 2, Burning Man. Under a scorching summer sun and the freezing desert night, enjoy a week of community, art, counterculture, and human expression. The annual Burning Man event, which is held in the Nevada desert, has gained notoriety. Each and every year it continues. Thousands travel worldwide for the chance of finding themselves via live music, drugs, and exploring sexual identity. And of course, the ritualistic bonfire. Dude, this sounds sick. We gotta go. A celebration of identity itself. A steep ticket price though of about $500 gets you a place to park, an area to set up camp, and a week-long experience left up to the questions of the universe. Ton of drugs and finding yourself, basically. Hey, if you're rocked out of your mind on shrooms, I can understand why the enormous 5-story Hayman could seem a little jarring. Whoa. Crowds can vary anywhere from 2 people in '86, the founders themselves, Larry Harvey and Jerry James, starting the event, to a modern, subtle 80,000 people. Speaks for itself, doesn't it? The verdict? People want to get act up and learn about what makes us human. Imagine the stars too, god damn. You're coming back a different person, I'll tell you that.
And finally, number 1, Pleasures of the Enchanted Isle. This one sounds like a Harry Potter sequel that didn't quite make it. Harry Potter and the Pleasures of the Enchanted Isle. Nice, 5 points to Gryffindor, let's party. This celebration kicked off May 1664. King Louis XIV decided to throw a big, fancy ball for his mistress. Yeah, but he told all invited that the party was actually for his mother, but really the spotlight the entire time was on his lady. Yeah, how rude, eh? Already you're like, ugh, what a diva, this Louis. A week-long party? Buddy, I'd be out of there in 48 minutes flat, that's it. Babysitters, texting, I don't know, phones don't exist, see ya. I'm making up excuses. Louis tried his best to keep the party going, believe me or not. He tried to keep it fresh. He had these fun, big, large outfits, a massive fake palace. He even had a big float that looked like a whale. And also, to end it all, a ballet show. Yeah, nothing livens up a week-long bender than ballet in a room full of lanterns. You're just watching like, while setting off fireworks on day 7, the fake palace caught real fire. And at that point, everybody was like, can we leave? I feel like we can leave now, it's done. I need 3 baths. Those are the top 10 messed up celebrations in history. If you're partying this weekend for Canada Day or 4th of July, you name it, just do so responsibly, please.
Please do. We have some pretty wild McWaters family barbecues traditions ourselves, buddy. Hold on to that koozie and grab a dog. I've been your host, Kyle McWaters.
And I'm Taylor McWaters, and we'll see you next time on
Bumblebee!